friends, in the last episode, I gave an anecdote on the presupposition, the map is not the territory. Let us discuss the second presupposition. Experience has a structure. See, whenever we do certain things, we go through an experience. I explained to you some time back that we have brain, we have mind, we have thoughts, right? We have behavior, and when we do a behavior, we do go through an experience. The experience could be a pleasant experience, not pleasant experience, could be an exciting experience or a neutral experience. The processing of this experience is very, very important to sustain the behavior or to eliminate the behavior or to enhance the behavior. There, this presupposition, experience has a structure, will be very, very relevant. In order to change a behavior, we need to notice the significance, the relevance, the importance of the experience associated with this behavior. Unless and until we neutralize that, we will not be able to change that behavior. As I explained to you, we are not dealing with a machine. It's not a computer where by changing the command, we can change the output. By instructing a person to do it in a particular way, you are not going to get consistency. You may get compliance out of fear, out of authority that you may have over him. He may conform to what you want, but that's not going to sustain. You need to understand the experience. I'll give an example from a school. About a couple of years ago, I went to a school. I was counseling a couple of students, parents, teachers. And one teacher brought one incident to my notice. She said, "Sir, I'm handling first standard students. And it is about a month since we started the new academic year. There is one student, the student is not coming to the computer lab for some reason. And I tried many ways to bring that child inside, but I'm not able to do that. I happened to visit that school very frequently, and I thought I can just understand what's happening. Normally, you know what children do? They like computers. Why is this child an exception? So I was going around, and the teacher showed me the child. I went to near the child. I was talking to her, and she was very cute, and she did not have any shyness talking to me. She was very open. Then I said, let's go and play some game, computer game. Immediately the child withdrew. I noticed something different. Then the teacher said, this child was not exposed to computer in the previous school. And only in this school, she's getting a hands-on experience about the computer. Couple of days later, I went to the same school. I saw this child playing. I brought her to my seat. I asked her to tell a rhyme. She recited it. When things were all right, I just opened my laptop. Can we play a game? Immediately, the child jumped and went outside. I could see something happening in her face. It went on for some time, and then the third or fourth visit, by the time I had established a certain amount of rapport with this child, and I called the child aside and asked, what's the problem with you? You are fine and all that, but the moment we talk about computer, we're having a problem. Then the child said, sir, I'm afraid of the mouse. Afraid of the mouse? Well, I could not understand what that means. Then I sent word for the parents. The parents came, I explained this, and they were not able to understand why the child was afraid of this mouse. And then a couple of days later, I wanted to see the grandparents of the child, and the grandparents came. And I explained to them what happened. And then when they heard about this mouse incident, they broke into laughter. And then they said, "Sir, now I'll give you the reason why the child is afraid of the computer." They said, "The child is my granddaughter, and my son and my daughter-in-law, they're living separately. We are living separately. Both of them are working, and this child is in the custody of a maid servant. Couple of months ago, when they had gone out for work, the child was in the custody of the maid servant, and the servant maid had to go out somewhere for a brief while. She locked the child in a room, and the child was bitten by a mouse. Then I understood. Obviously, she's afraid. So I had to neutralize this feeling. So I called the child again to my room. A few weeks later, I explained to them, this is a device, this is a switch, in a way that the child can understand. This is not a mouse. I asked her to touch. Then I said, this will get you a lot of computer games. It will get you cartoons on the screen. And the child became very friendly. A few weeks later, the child was very comfortable entering the computer lab. Obviously, we are driven by our feelings. How many of you will touch this piece of gadget if somebody had named it as a cockroach? Right click the cockroach, left click the cockroach. So the map is not the territory. It's important to understand the experience has a structure. More about these NLP presuppositions in the future episodes. See you next time.